Thank you, everybody, for coming out to hear our presentation. Golden Arrow has got quite a story, and I'm very happy to be here to share it with you. And I'd like to talk about the value we've had from our success and the growth that we see in our discovery. It's coming up. This is cautionary notes. There will be some forward-looking statements, and so you've all been duly warned. Golden Arrow is a member of the Grosso Group of companies. Grosso Group of companies has been working largely in Argentina since 1993. We've had 4 discoveries within the Grosso Group, significant discoveries. Our last discovery ended in, well, didn't end, but we monetized in 2018. That was a deal with SSR Mining. That was our Chinchillas project, and that allowed us to put a lot of money in the coffers and then to go out shopping. As I mentioned, the Grosso Group's been around since 1993. It's led by Joe Grosso. We've got a great team of technical and business and legal people. Very good group to be working with. We have a project pipeline that since 1993 we've been working on, been building it. It's a diverse portfolio of precious and base metals. We have some core projects at different stages that we're working on and advancing that I want to talk about. We've also got a portfolio of projects that we're marketing as joint ventures. We've 3 of those that we've done in the last year. They've kind of flown under the radar, but they definitely are a secondary value stream for us. Recently this week we put out a press release that we had done a deal for an option on our Mogote property, which borders Filo del Sol's property. So we're going to have some action going on next to Filo del Sol over the next year. So that's exciting for us. But I'm going to focus today on our recent project, the San Pietro project in Chile. It seemed like copper was the place to be, so we went to copper. This is a project that came to us last September, asked if we were interested in looking at it, and we were. And then it came to a bid process. We thought, what the heck, let's put in a bid for it. We have lots of money in the treasury, and we won the bid, and we were very, very happy about that. And we put out an announcement about that last month. It's about 18,000 hectares of property. We've got some advanced targets on there as well as some other things to look at that I'm going to go through. And we believe that there's a good chance that we can repeat the Chinchilla success story at San Pietro. The big thing about San Pietro, or one of the most important things that people will tell you, location, location, location. Well, this, in fact, is pretty hard to beat when it comes to location. It's just north of Copiapó. It sits in one of the most mine-friendly areas of the entire world, and some of the largest copper mines, Manto Verde, Candelaria, Santo Domingo, these types of projects. All of the infrastructure is there. We have power going across our property. There's desalination plants there. Just a lot of activity and a very good place to be. And if you look closer at where we're located, that's our property in the middle. That's San Pietro. And to the east of us there, that's Capstone's property. That is their Santo Domingo mine, which is right now being developed. And then they made a deal with Manto Verde back about the time we were signing our deal. So now Capstone holds all of that property. They've got about 500 million tons of reserve at Manto Verde and another 500 million tons of resource at Santo Domingo. And we've got the donut in the middle of that. So like I say, it's hard to find a better neighborhood than where we are. When we went in and did the due diligence, I'm only going to talk about these 4 very quickly, but there was a lot of targets in there. The property had been owned prior to us by Sumitomo and Teck. They had quit working on the property in 2013, getting into Sumitomo was running the property, and we're looking to get into different business ventures. So the property's been sitting there for 2013. There's been no work done on it. But we inherited a huge database of geological mapping. We've got a lot of geophysics. I think there's like 30,000 meters of drilling or something like that. And when we went through the due diligence, it was pretty interesting that what we found, majority of their work had been done on this area that's right next to the Santo Domingo property, where you've got that little circle up there, the little yellow circle. And there was a resource that they had defined, which is, well, I can't really talk about it here, but it was impressive. We have some work to do on it. And this is just one of the examples of the holes that we have in there 28 meters of better than 1% copper and with gold and cobalt. So we want to get in there and follow up on that area and look at the other areas as well. There's a lot of potential throughout the 18,000 hectares we have. That property in the middle is owned by Cap. That's another Chilean company. We have a potential deal with them right now to pick up that area as well. As we went through the area, one of the things that started to stand out more and more was these very high cobalt values. And you can see there these cobalt values, well, you can see them, I can't, but 400, 500, 600 ppm cobalt. The resources that they're mining at, or they plan to mine at Santo Domingo are about 300 ppm cobalt. So what happened there, and David touched a little bit on his presentation, is back in 2012 or 2013 when they were evaluating, there was cobalt, which you can see on the top right there, was very low price, and now it's gone through the roof. It's selling at, I think it's like $46 a pound. So cobalt's got a value of 10 times of that of copper. As David pointed out, copper's gone up, gold's gone up, and iron's gone up. So when they looked at this project, they looked at it as a copper project. Copper grades were so-so. But when you start adding all of these different elements in, it's an entirely different story. Capstone went back and looked at their Santo Domingo property and says, hey, you know what, we should look at this cobalt as well. And they've gone back in, they've redone the feasibility, they've added a roaster project. They're now going to be recovering the cobalt, recovering sulfuric acid, making urea for fertilizer. So it's a big success story, and we've got the 18,000 hectares right next to them. So in the short term, one of the things that we found, because of the different people that are working on the property, there's a lot of inconsistencies and things that we'd like to get straight. So we want to make sure that we've got a clean database. We're going to follow up on geophysics. There were some deep targets that were some very strong magnetics in here. These are IOCG deposits, so there's a lot of very strong magnetic responses that had never been drilled. They drilled to the upper ones, but now to go, 800, 900 meters is not that deep in terms of exploration. So we're going to concentrate on the surface mapping, getting the database cleaned up, doing the geophysics. We've already got an approved program for next year for drilling. We're looking at doing about 40,000 meters. We're going to go back into that first area that I danced over very quickly, called Rincones, where they had their resource before, and we'd like to prove up what they've got and something even more than that. So we believe there's a very good opportunity to repeat what we did at Chinchillas, and we're excited to getting on the ground. This is what the company looks like. As I mentioned, we had an opportunity to load up the coffers when we did the deal with SSR Mining. We're still sitting on a lot of cash. One of the things that happened through the time that we started looking at the project until the time it closes, the SSR shares, which we hold, had increased by $10 a share. So we ended up with the same amount of cash in the end as we did in the beginning, just because we had managed to leverage the price of those shares. So we're still sitting with a lot of money in the bank. We've got a good project, and we still have some other properties that we're working on as well, but I just wanted to focus on our new one. So very quickly then, to wrap up, looking at Golden Arrow, we've got a company that's been around for a long time, 93, started in 1993, a lot of experience doing all the things that are important in making a resource business work. We've got a very strong treasury, and we've got some excellent projects, not only the projects that we're developing right now, like San Pietro, our project in Paraguay, some other things we've got going in Argentina, but we have our secondary stream where we've just signed this deal, as I mentioned, with this company from Magote, which borders on Filo del Sol. So I think we're in very, very good shape, and if you're interested in investing in a junior mining company, take a look at us, and be happy to answer any questions later. Thank you.